Hey, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today I'll be doing some heavy squats. I'm trying to work up to a 1 rep max, and I want to talk a little bit about form and technique as well. I've done a full warm up before this, so I'm ready to go. And you know, I prefer a high bar narrow stance squat, squatting in Olympic shoes. Oh, by the way, this is my first time using Final Cut Pro, so I'm messing around with things like that little picture-in-picture you're seeing there, as well as a few different effects. Anyways, what you can see in that little picture is the bottom position of my squat. So feet are shoulder width apart, knees are out, tracking out overneath the ankles, chest is upright, and as you can see in some of these later clips here, I try to keep a lot of tension through the upper back and big breath out in the abdomen. I was blown away by the progress that I made today. Coming into the gym, I expected anything from a 555 to 570 on the high end. This actually seems to be a day of firsts. I'm trying out some Bluetooth headphones, which are amazing, by the way. I hate having my phone on me and having cords dangling, so good suggestion there that I asked Matt Ogus for, and they're awesome. Music, it turns out, makes a huge impact on my success. Well, here I am working up. So I basically did a progression from 5 reps to 3 reps to singles all the way up until my work weight, jumping about 90 pounds each time up until I get pretty close to the work weight. So still feeling pretty easy, taking anywhere from 2 to 3 to 4 minutes in between sets. I like to take a little bit of a moment to analyze the video, take a look to make sure my knees are tracking right, and I'm keeping my chest up before I continue onwards. So as far as technique goes, I think one of the contributing factors to this feeling more comfortable on the walkout, at least, is all the walkouts I've been doing. So you know, I've been adding a single heavy walkout for 30 seconds every day. Now, this used to be my my meet PR. This is 5:45. So I brought in a spotter to make sure that, you know, nothing happens. I'm just trying to clear my head of all doubt before I squat. I tend, especially on PRs, to doubt, you know, right as they're coming in, because of course you're getting into new territory. But that's looking a lot smoother than it used to be, and I'm getting more and more excited. So this is 565, I believe, which is a PR for me by all sense of the word. Knee wraps, no knee wraps, and I've kind of found, and other high bar narrow squatters have found as well, that you don't get a lot of rebound from knee wraps, especially when you get to the depth that you do. It's your hips and it's the pop out of the hole that really give you the better rebound than knee wraps do. So driving out and out of that hole has been the best, and I don't think I've gotten anything near as much from knee wraps. Well, here's a 575, and I am not believing myself that anything is happening right now, and here I am being able to do this. So I'm the results speak for themselves. This Westside program is working really well for me as I'm dieting coming into this competition. Probably another 5 pounds would have been the limit, but I was feeling ambitious, and I tried 585, and you can see I get stalled about halfway up, and rightly so. He spots me towards the end. This is another one of those magic milestones for me. The next one being 600, which which is going to be phenomenal. So as you can see right there, it looks like I didn't quite have enough quad drive to get through the top portion of that, which after a few 1 rep maxes, I can perfectly see why that's happening. Well, it came time to some assistance work, and here's where the we're calling it early portion comes into the video. I mean, I barely had anything left for some of this assistance work. So I'm warming up with a set of GHRs here, And with plans of using that light band for a few sets, it just was not in the cards. You know, I mean, I couldn't even get up to full extension with the light band, so you know that those max singles kind of took it out of me. So I'm about 3 weeks out from the powerlifting meet. Currently my macros are 400 carbs on training days, 300 carbs on off days, 70 grams of fat, and 225 grams of protein. As for what I'm eating, it's all across the board. But, you know, breakfast, sometimes I'll have Greek yogurt, granola, honey. Sometimes I'll have egg whites, turkey bacon, toast. Sometimes I'll do protein shake, Pop-Tart. It just doesn't matter. So you can see me just toss the band there and kind of go into safety mode here, and I think that's for the best. For those of you guys that have been training for a while, the more you know yourself and know your limitations, I think the better off you're going to be. It's really smart to know when to call it early, but also when to know when you're just being a baby and not wanting to push yourself. So in that sense, having someone kind of monitor you is a good thing, but the more you train, honestly, the more you'll know when it's just a good idea to go light and when it's a good idea to push it. So normally I'm up at 180 on this, so I just dropped down to 50 pounds for some light sets here, just trying to get some extra blood flow. I did spend some time later in the day foam rolling, and as you'll see here at the end of the video, I've added some mobility. It's one of my favorite mobility things, the banded hip opener, which after heavy deadlifts or heavy squats, I suggest you guys camp out for a good amount of time. Speaking of mobility, I ordered Kelly Starrett's Becoming a Supple Leopard book, so I'm excited for when that comes. I did have plans to do the USPA meet in San Jose in late June, but it turns out that I have to coach a volleyball tournament, the AAU Nationals, and that's kind of coinciding at the same time. So unfortunately, I'll have to reschedule and do a different meet, potentially the Nationals in July. So in relation to volleyball, this is an ab exercise I used to have a lot of my players do. Basically taking a volleyball-sized medicine ball and keeping your hands in setting position and making sure that you're finishing. I'm starting to add baby sets here with wrist flicks. Of course, for you powerlifters, this really, you know, isn't necessary, but it's a good way for me to kind of keep my hands soft and making sure that I can still set well and also incorporate a little bit of ab work as well. So that's a 5 kilo ball, so it's something like 10 pounds. Back when I was first learning how to set, and I was on the JV team in high school, my dad and mom bought me a medicine ball, which later on I found out not a lot of people do. So I was setting with something pretty heavy, which turned out to be really good for my hands. In college, I played setter and right side hitter. So this was part of my bread and butter as an athlete. And finally, here is the mobility exercise. So this is a banded hip opener. Again, for the explanation, take a light or average band, hook it around your low back, hook the other end just underneath the kneecap on both sides. I like to start the band mid-back, that way I have equal tension on both knees. Waddle yourself over to a wall, park those feet up, and use the inside of your hands or your hands themselves to drive your knees outwards. So this opens up those hips, essentially allowing you to get deeper in a squat. Now, if you guys want to do this before a workout, I suggest not spending a whole bunch of time on this, only because you're kind of opening up some new tissue there and you might be a little bit raw. Here's the figure 4 version. You probably have to scoot your butt back just a little bit to make this work. But this is a great one to get the hip flexors on the outside and those IT bands involved as well. One of those problem areas for me. Alright, thanks very much guys. Look forward to the next video. Take care.